All right, folks, it's that time of the week again. You may notice different surroundings here. I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days, so I'm just doing this from my bedroom. If you clicked on this video and you're not sure what this is about, once a week I sit down and answer comments from our regular viewers and others who have commented on our videos throughout the previous week. If that doesn't sound like something you're interested in listening to, totally understand if you click off the video right now. Before we jump in the comments, I just want to say today is the 1-year anniversary of our first reaction video. I cannot believe we've been doing this for a year. At the time when I did it, was very odd. It's something I thought about doing before to kind of build some interest in the channel, the Random Mind Records channel. But I'd never done it, and I thought, I don't think it's something I want to do. And then one day I woke up and it was like this urge that I had to go shoot a reaction video and upload it that day. And I did, and it got like 150 views, which was astounding considering that we only had 6 subscribers on the channel and 0 social media presence anywhere else. And the next day I recorded another one and released it, and that was our first Jeff Castellucci reaction, although I'd already heard Jeff, knew who he was before that reaction, and it got like 1,000 views, like right off the bat, and it was just mind-blowing. And after that, we just started putting these out. We've been on here a year. We have made some, I think, some great friends through the channel here. All of our regular viewers, all of our EOV Club members. If you don't know what the EOV Club is, you have to watch this whole video. I have gotten to hear some great music, introduced to some great music that I've never heard before, some great artists that I've never heard before. And it's been totally unexpected how much this channel has exploded. We passed 3,000 subscribers, I think, week before last, and we're now at 3,100 after last night. This is just unbelievable. We appreciate the support, liking, subscribing, commenting, supporting us on Patreon, sharing on social media, whatever you do. We appreciate it, cannot express how much we appreciate this, and we ask you to continue to support us, and just thank you for all you've done. And now I'm going to shut up with all the sentimental stuff, and we'll get to the comments now. So first we got our suggestions this week. I've got my comment manager here, said that multiple commenters suggested The Seed by Acapella Academy, and that was written by Avi Kaplan. So we'll definitely be putting that one on our Patreon poll. Lori Toigo, regular viewer of the channel, says, have you listened to Ring of Fire by Home Free featuring Avi Kaplan? Dueling Bases, that is currently on our Home Free Patreon poll, and it looks like it's going to win handily, so that one should be come up in a few weeks if it does. EA Cole 72 says, this just came out, Dolly Parton covering We Are the Champions. Nice, it gave me goosebumps. EOVC, thank you, EA Cole, I appreciate that. We love watching Tony Bennett with Lady Gaga. She obviously adored him, was so respectful, gentle, and loving when they were singing together. Yeah, and I've seen some of the Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga stuff. Really, really good stuff. I will definitely put that Dolly Parton, We Are the Champions, on our next Patreon poll for our random reactions. MEBM61 on our Pentatonics video suggested react to Kevin covering of Down. Okay, I will put that on the list. PJB5383 suggested, this is some of the Pentatonic stuff. Prayers for This World, Mad World, Evolution of Michael Jackson, Come Along, which is a whimsical song reminiscent of Alice in Wonderland. There's also Recording Evergreen, a mini doc that follows them in the studio as they are recording a recent-ish Christmas album. And then Scott and Mitch's group Superfruit suggestions. Okay, great. And PJB says, peace from Ohio. Thank you, PJB. Appreciate that. Appreciate all those suggestions. I'm not sure. I think I've seen Mad World. The other ones aren't ringing, and maybe the Evolution of Michael Jackson too. The other ones aren't ringing a bell, but I'll go check those out. All right, on last week's comment video, EOV Club, we got Karina, Grace, Maggie, Kat, EA Cole, and Valencia. Thank all of y'all so much for watching these videos all the way through. Cannot tell you how much we appreciate that enough. Grace says, you have forgotten Mr. Las Vegas himself, Wayne Newton. He's only 81. This is in reference to Tony Bennett passing. I was talking about the kind of the end of the crooners. Saw him at a private concert in Boca Raton, Florida, and the diamond studs on his tux had to be at least 5 carats each. They were huge. Michael Bublé is the only great singer still out there. You also have Harry Connick Jr. Yeah, they are few and far between now, and that's sad. I truly hope that people will see the value of the ballad way of singing and create new standards that the next generations can really enjoy and have always had. Yeah, and I need to clarify, as my comment manager told me, we'd gotten a couple of different comments that were on this. What I didn't mean there were not any other crooners out there other than Michael Bublé. Like, I feel like Michael Bublé is the biggest modern crooner out there. And what I meant by Tony passing that he was the end of the crooner generation, I meant like the Frank Sinatra Rat Pack generation. He was kind of the last one of that generation. I think he was like 12 years younger than Sinatra, and he was kind of the end of that crooner generation. So now that he's gone, that's all of them. Wayne Newton, yeah, Wayne Newton's definitely a crooner. Love Wayne Newton. But for me, he would be in that next generation, and Harry Connick Jr. too. He's another crooner, but he's several generations later, or at least a couple. And yeah, I hope the same thing, Grace, that people will see the value of the ballad style and create new standards. That would be great. I don't see it realistically happening, but I'm hopeful that it will. Lori Torgo says, grammar and punctuation were big for me too. I've learned to ease up quite a bit, but my daughter corrects my texts. She silently judged me right now. More Avi, please. That's in reference, I was talking about the respond to a comment about grammar. I have a lot of English education, but I try not to be just a tyrant about it. And I ease up, and I speak, particularly when I'm speaking, I speak like I was raised, and which is not 100% grammatically correct. Carol Burnett, great. Oh, I missed. Hold on, I missed. No, I didn't. Excuse me. And I'm a little out of it here, folks. My brain didn't quite function because I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days with this upper respiratory stuff. But anyway, Carol Burnett, another great viewer of the channel, says, thanks, Cole. I agree that some need to breeze don't stand out to me, but the ones that do really stick, 100%. Racing 2 Cat says 80 chickens. Holy Toledo, Cole, and your wife didn't cook any of them. Impressive. Appreciate you and your team for putting these videos. Thank you, Cat. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I should say the 80 chickens, that was actually whenever I lived at home. I wasn't married yet. I was much younger, and my parents had this giant sprawling farm. If we were to raise some now, yeah, we probably would cook a few. But at the time, I was raising more as pets, and we were getting the eggs. Maggie at Play, another great viewer of the channel, great patron, says, so glad you continue to do these comment videos. They are so fun. Thank you, Maggie. Appreciate that. Always EOV, even if I don't always comment. I appreciate you and your team so much. Would love to see you do a chicken channel. I raised chickens for a number of years and miss them so much. Excellent, excellent. Sadly, the apartment I'm currently in prohibits pets. Yeah, I had favorites among my flock. Silver, I had a chicken named Silver, a 15-pound blue Jersey giant who sired quite a number of fine babies until he became mama bear food. Yep, that'll happen. Pearl, a white leghorn who survived a raccoon massacre. Harriet, who was always sneaking into the main garden to eat fresh greens, even though I always kept a separate greens patch for the chickens. That's great stuff, Maggie. Yeah, I had a chicken. It's interesting. You said your Silver was a blue Jersey giant. My Silver was a little silver Seabright Bantam, and she was just about this big, and she was wonderful. Yeah, great stuff. Appreciate you sharing that. Valencia the Queen, another great viewer, says, FYI, Johnny Mathis to me is the last remaining crooner. He is 87. He was not part of the Rat Pack, but he's in the same caliber singer. Yeah, I agree. He is that kind of singer, but for me, Johnny Mathis is kind of in that next generation. I think he was actually born the year that Frank Sinatra started, so that was like Frank was 20 years older than him, so I feel like, again, Johnny is in that next generation. All right, on the Home Free Folsom Prison Blues cover, my comment manager has a note here that says multiple commenters mentioned the heights of the guys being around 6'2". Yeah, I'd asked that in the video. They had them in the lineup, and at first I thought it was actually they're supposed to be their heights, and then I realized, oh no, because they're not 6'8" and 5'6" or whatever was on there. So that's gotcha. 6'2". I wouldn't have said that they were all that tall. Like, to me, Rob looks shorter than the rest of the guys, but I guess not. All of them are around 6'2" according to this. Pamela A. Goodman says, Adam said he used his dad's shotgun to do the racking sound. Interesting. That's some good info there. Rich B313 says, these guys often take liberties with verses if that does not destroy the feel of it. Gotcha. Ronnie Boyd says, awesome reaction. You're one of the few reactors to get Adam's shotgun. Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate that. And I've got my kids are home. If you hear some rattling and bumping and grunting in there, I apologize. Let's see. Baby Fry, another great viewer of the channel, says, love this one too, Cole. Great reaction. I love the jazzy blues style of it. Like you said, they were sounding like a train whistle with the wheels coming down the track. Loved Adam's crazy sounds. We think Tim did the crime, while Adam should be in this insane asylum and the others as accomplices. The height charts are all wrong with the boys are tall with heights between 6'1 and 6'4. Okay, got you. This was during COVID, so the boys just put those charts wherever. Yeah, and it was really funny, too, because originally I was like, is that the real heights? And I realized, oh, no, it's got, it's just, the heights are all over the place. It was a nice comical touch. Miami Dolphins fan says, just a new classic arrangement from Home Free. I think it could be their regular arranger, Darren Rust, a very talented arranger. Have a great weekend, Colt. Thank you, Miami Dolphins fan. I appreciate that. Hope you had a great weekend, that you have one this week. Glowworm RDR says, yep, during COVID lockdown, they did a prison lockdown song, Nothing Better to Do, and I've never heard a better arrangement or version. Johnny was solo because he had monster style, then came the Highwaymen. I think he would have loved Home Free's take. Style, I forget if you've done their Unchained Melody, but it's another beautiful performance in prison garb. Yeah, Unchained Melody was one of the first ones I did of Home Free, and that was like the one that just hooked me on Home Free. Like, yeah, these guys are absolutely incredible. Pam Forrester, one of our regular viewers of the channel, says, what a way to wind down a long week. I love this song. Hate to be a wet blanket, but the old saying, cash is king, is true. Don't get me wrong. This is a good cover, but somehow Cash on this one. I'm going to give another listen. It's truly good, though. Thanks, Cole, for the video and commentary you do. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. And yeah, you know, just on sheer creativity and originality of the original song, I think Johnny wins. Like, even if somebody were to come up with a version that is technically better and technically executed more proficiently, Johnny wins on creativity and originality points. Donna Moskowitz says, I am taking this quote from another Home Fry. Love it when Tim summons the dragon. That's great. I like that. Great reaction, Cole. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Elizabeth Ross, another great viewer of the channel, says, there's no way to praise this performance with higher accolades than the ones you've offered in your reaction. Home Free simply had to go bass with the Prison Blues. It's Johnny Cash, after all, but Home Free manages to put their own twist on the rhythmical phrasing, and that additional bridging is genius. Another great 8 minutes spent with Random Mind. Thanks, Cole. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Voice play Disney Heroes, which is a really fun video. Let's see. Arianya, maybe murdering that one, says the ACA top 10s are some of my favorites. Great reaction. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I really love this one. I think this is the first top 10 I was checking out from them. It was really fun. I just recorded Villains. Should be out in a couple of weeks. That was also really, really fun. Great performance, too. Barbara Kennedy says voice play has roots in Disney. Many of them worked for Disney shows in Florida. Yeah, I remember that from commenters saying that. On our Stuck Like Glue video, this was our Sugarland cover, Stuck Like Glue, that my band, Southern Gentry Music Review, released. And we posted the video of the album artwork track this week. Karina Rotobach, another great viewer of the channel, says, music I like, keep it coming. Thank you, Karina. We've got one more left off this album, and it'll be the cover of The Weight by The Band. And I'm not sure, we don't have any more recorded. I'm not sure when we'll get any more out after that, because that'll be the last one off this album that we've gotten recorded. Let's see here. Elizabeth Ross says, looks like I'm first here today. The more I hear Brittany, the more impressed. And the rhythm of this one caused me to get my guitar out and play along. Excellent. Viva la Southern Gentry. Thank you, Elizabeth. That was great. Appreciate that so much. The nerves and skin of my old fingers can't last more than one song, but the pain is worth it if the song is good. Who said country genre wasn't for the classically trained? I think it was me until about a decade ago when Home Free led me down a whole new path. Thanks for a fun strum on a Tuesday morning. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. I'm glad it got your juices flowing, getting that guitar out. That is great. Carol Burnett says, I like her voice. I came in from work, then grocery shopping after having no lunch, and I was just a wee bit cranky. Been there. By the time the song finished, I found that my shoulders had dropped back down where they belong. I'm so happy you're sharing these. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate that. It's a great comment there. It made my week. So glad y'all are connecting with this, and it's bringing a little bit of brightness to a day that may otherwise be kind of what's the word I'm looking for here, folks. My brain isn't functioning well this morning, but anyway. But yeah, I'm glad y'all are enjoying these, and it's brightening up your day. Maggie at Play says, first time hearing this song. Yes, please, more of this type of music. Thanks for sharing, Cole. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that. Pam Forrester says, I really love this version. I always liked the song, but wasn't crazy about the original singers. I'm weird, I guess, but just couldn't get into Jennifer Nettles. This does justice to a good song. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, here, my opinion on Jennifer Nettles, I think she's really talented, and I think she's very unique for the genre. As far as personal preference, she's not my personal favorite singer to listen to. And I thought what Britney did with this on this song was incredible. This was actually... Stuck Like Glue is one of those songs that I actually kind of liked, but didn't want to admit that I liked. And Britney loved the song and had no problem admitting it. So when we used to perform live, we were playing to a predominantly country-loving audience. And since I liked it but didn't want to admit it, and Britney loved it, I was like, hey, why don't we add Stuck Like Glue to our set? So that's what we did, and this is the recorded version of what we used to do when we performed live. Valencia the Queen says, nice, happy song. Yes, great, nice, up-tempo, peppy tune. On our Bruce Springsteen Glory Days, Valencia says, I haven't seen this video in years. Yeah, it's an old one. Carol Burnett says, as someone who definitely didn't peak during high school, I really like this song. Sometimes it gives me a bit more patience when dealing with certain people. 100%. Yeah, I did not peak in high school either. I am happy to say. Pam Forrester said, what a fun trip down memory lane. Maybe the whole point of the song. I think he outdid himself on this one. One of my favorites. Thank you. Yeah, Pam, one of my top Bruces so far. And again, y'all know when I started listening to Bruce, I was not a huge fan. I'd never really gotten his catalog. What I'd heard from him had never really struck me on a personal level, but what I've heard from him are just absolutely fantastic tunes. And finally, on our Pentatonix Sound of Silence video, Pam says, and of course, here I am. Pam is our resident Pentatonix fan. Being the total Pentaholics that I am, I love this one. They are a cappella perfection. They have harmony only dreamed of by most, so hopefully we'll hear more from them on here soon. They may own Christmas music, but darn if they don't do some good upgrades to whatever they do. Appreciate the work you put into the video and commentary. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope we get some more Pentatonix up. I'll probably put another Pentatonix on the poll in a couple of weeks. Cosmic Drift 8311 says, Pentaholics also enjoy insightful commentary because of the complexity of Pentatonix songs. One often has to hear them several times to gain full appreciation for analysis. Yeah, 100%. First-time reactions are not the only format. Pentatonix also continues to release new material, including their own originals, that provides fodder for first-time reactions. I hope you consider both options, continue to bring more Pentatonix. That's a great point. And yeah, I could bring in songs theirs that I've heard before. Particularly, I'd love to revisit their original performances on the Sing-Off, which is where I was introduced to them on. So yeah. And let's see, we got two more. Maggie at Play says, having grown up with Simon & Garfunkel's version, The Graduate was the first adult movie I was taken to see in a movie theater at age 13. It was a song for the generation with all that was happening in the 60s. A very visceral song. I was introduced to the Disturbed version by the charismatic voice. It took me several listens to understand the power behind the Disturbed version. Jeff Castellucci's version provided, to me, new light on the interpretation of the song. Pentatonix version again adds meaning. Thanks, Cole, for the reaction and analysis. Thank you, Maggie. Yeah, that was great. Well put. And yeah, The Graduate, I tell you what, The Graduate, great film. It's funny, but it is so hard to watch for me. I watched it the first time and I was like, okay, yeah, that's probably going to be the only time I watch that. And then I had to watch it again for a film class in college, and it's so awkward, so hard to watch in certain scenes. But yeah, great film, and that the song, of course, is iconic. Gwen Ed with an extra D, 2 N's, 2 D's. Anyway, says, I prefer this version to Disturbed's. It's less angry and less theatrical. The way I've heard it put, Simon & Garfunkel's original was a warning. Disturbed's was angry at the warning hadn't been heeded, and Pentatonix version was about hope that people would finally listen to the warning. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. All right, so folks, that's it again. Thank y'all so much for allowing us to do these for a full year on this channel. I hope we continue to do it. Once again, thanks for all the likes, comments, subscriptions, shares, Patreon support, any contributions that you've made separately. Thank y'all so much. If you made it to the end of this video, double, triple, quadruple thank you. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the week, great rest of the weekend. I think today, tomorrow's, Friday's home free is the Kenny Rogers song, if I remember correctly. We've got Creep by Voice Play Monday. I can't remember. Tuesday is another Bruce off of Born USA. I can't remember which one. Wednesday, I can't remember. I was going to pull I keep forgetting to pull these up ahead of time and get these up. But we got some great stuff coming up, so y'all stick around, and we will see you next time.